morning and welcome to Viewpoint, your program of personalities, politicians, and perspectives plus. This morning, instead of kudos, I think maybe Mr. Kirby, it might be just as well if we kind of stop and ask our listeners out there, all two of you, to remember what tomorrow is and the purpose of tomorrow. So on behalf of Mr. Ash, Mrs. Drew, and Mrs. Kathie Williams, and Loyd Kirby, and the old fellow, we wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving. Remember what it's all about tomorrow. Loyd, let's introduce our lovely guest this morning.
I wore my hat. I was sure you were going to have us doff our hats. So
well,
one day I bring it, you change it up on me.
Well, we'll change up next week.
All right, we're having a meeting. So, but our guests, as you mentioned here in the studio, are Kathie Williams and Lisa Drew, downtown business proprietors from downtown Lincoln, and you'll tell us about things happening at your businesses and downtown in general for the holiday season. So, ladies, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, the purpose of asking these ladies down, ladies and gentlemen out there in the ether world, is that there's an old adage that says nothing happens till somebody makes it happen. Here are two people on the square in business that make things happen, along with some of their fellow merchants down there. And so we have great respect for what they do. Mrs. Drew has that lovely restaurant called Sorrento's. That'll cost you $5, Lisa. And Kathie with Small Town Creations, and that could be $10, Kathie. But seriously, these two ladies represent what's good about around the square in Lincoln, Illinois. We've been hard hit economically with some losses in industry and so forth, and it's been tough. But these folks band together down there, and they make things happen. And this is the season. So let's just talk about the Christmas season and who wants to take the flag as I pass off?
Kathie wants to.
You're killing me. So basically, Christmas is kind of our time for downtown to be able to, obviously we do a lot for Christmas. It's our big time of year for retail and restaurants and stuff for everybody to get together, but it's also our opportunity to kind of give back to the community. So that's why we do a lot of events downtown. So that's kicks off kicks off Friday night, but Saturday's our Small Business Saturday event. So we do a lot down there. You're up.
Well, all of our merchants do a nice job of trying to merchandise their stores. Some of you do a little bit better more than others. Some of you more talented. Mrs. Williams' Downtown Creations, or Small Town Creations, is a shining example of something who puts a little extra sauce on the dish. And certainly, when it comes to dining out, you're not going to do any better than going to Sorrento's. So these people are successful because they're thinking. They got their thinking caps on about 24 hours a day. Going.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you mentioned things start out Friday night. That's with the Christmas tree
Christmas
area?
Tree lighting. Yep. We start this back in July. We order our trees in July, and we try to grow the event every year. And this year we were able to grow it by 25. So we have 125 trees this year.
Wow.
And with the construction going on at the courthouse, we do only have basically the east or the west side of the courthouse. But we went up sidewalks, we put them a little closer. So it really does, when you walk down the sidewalks, it really does look like a winter wonderland. And a lot of the trees aren't even decorated yet, but it's going to be kind of neat. We try to keep it so people can walk around, just in case we have snow. I mean, they can walk on the sidewalk. But we'll have our tree lighting ceremony Friday night at 5:30, and we'll do just a quick little, I don't like to talk too much, so a little speech and thank yous, and then we'll do a 3, 2, 1, and we light the trees up. So, and then right after that starts our carriage rides that the downtown merchants all sponsor for everybody, and those are free to the public. They will accept tips, but it's just a nice way to spend the Christmas season. So, take a carriage ride around our downtown.
And the carriage rides, I believe the pickup is going to be in front of the arcade building on Pulaski Street.
Yep.
With a sign-up sheet so that people can sign up and then go shop in some of the downtown merchants while they're waiting for their turn.
It's nice they started doing that last year.
Yes.
Last
it was
year, because in the years before they would wait in line and it never failed. It was cold or snowing or something. So now they started it last year, where you go and you sign a sheet and you'll say, okay, I have to be back at 7:15 or whatever time. And then while you're waiting, you can go grab a pizza, you can go get ice cream, you can go have a drink, you can go shopping in any of the businesses that are open. So it's nice that you can schedule that, and you don't have to worry about getting, if you have littles with you, you don't have to worry about getting them out and standing in the cold. And so there's a lot of stuff to do downtown while you wait for your carriage ride.
Do either of you ladies remember who borned, use that word carefully, borned the idea of the sleigh ride around the square? It's a neat, it's kind of starting now, it's a custom. And it's a really neat thing to have. How did that start, ladies? Do you remember?
I'm not sure.
A couple of
what
girls
year
sitting
that-
around over coffee.
It was 4 years ago
Was
when
it
we
did we
started
start it
this.
then, or was it before that they had that carriage ride? It seems to me like that might have been going on before that, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember. Well, Lisa and I got together when I first moved downtown 4 years ago. Lisa and I got together and we started brainstorming, and then we just started pulling in all the other merchants, and everybody was, great to jump in, and whatever we can do, let's do something. Let's bring it, our downtown. So it was nice that everybody, we're not a, I don't want to say organized group, but I mean, we're not, an official.
Not an official entity.
We're not organized, some of
But
this group.
I had met Kathie when she moved downtown, and I had noticed that some businesses downtown on their own had been kind of successful just talking and putting out on Facebook and inviting people to town, and I thought how wonderful that would be if we as a downtown group would be able to get together and form something and just invite people from the town and from the surrounding areas to come and shop in our downtown. Kathie had just moved there. I had begun talking to people about this, and I stopped in and we talked quite a bit about that. And Kathie had already started taking a list of email addresses down, and she said, well, let's see. And I don't even remember who showed up at our first meeting, but we were like, let's try this. The nice thing about this is we're not just a standalone business anymore. We're a downtown group,
Yes.
and we all work together. And I don't sit on my side of the square and wondering what is that business over there across the square going to do? What are,
Excuse me.
I know we're friends. We're energized by each other. And I used to laugh because as soon as the meetings were over with, I felt like leaving that meeting. I was so
Move the world.
excited. I wanted to go spend a bunch of money in all these businesses because you've got wonderful people down there with wonderful businesses, and we're all working together to promote our little downtown area, which is at the heart of our town. And I think it's very important for people to have something like that.
I don't think
it's a wow factor. What we have is a couple of creative people sitting around a cup of coffee with other creative people, and the first thing you know, things begin to happen.
Yeah.
Sadly, I was just saying, and this has no place in our conversation at all, but sadly, as I think about the Christmas time and around the square, something we don't see anymore. I don't think we do. The Salvation Army with their kettle.
There is one. There's one in front of Guest House.
Good.
And IGA has one, I believe.
Good.
Yep.
Well, that's such a difficult situation as staff. Well, for instance, today as we sit here and talk about the Salvation Army place there on Kickapoo Street, quietly it does a heck of a lot of good for a lot of people. And so we should doff our hats to the Salvation Army. You may doff your hat now,
Thank you.
sir. Yeah.
I'll do more than that. Turn it on.
I won't make light of the Salvation Army, and I'm not at all by any stretch of the imagination. They just do a tremendous amount of good. And by the way, while we're out there passing kudos around, today again, Holy Family Pantry and other pantries do a tremendous amount of good. The reason I mention Holy Pantry is that Wednesdays they line up there. And when I go home from this station and I notice the cars lined up there, and I want to tell you, folks, it sure tells me there's a lot of one out there because those cars are lined up.
They are.
And Carolyn Webster, of course, has been out of commission to work so hard as she always has. So let's doff your hat to Carolyn's
I can't turn on any more lights. But
Don't let your toupee fall off. The carriage ride starts at what time of an evening, ladies? 5 or 6 o'clock?
Normally, it's going to start at, I totally just drew a blank,
6 to 9, I believe.
5
on
to
Friday.
8. Normally, it'll start to 5 to 8. Now, this Friday, it starts at 5:30 or
Okay, so it's
6. Just because of we have part of the street blocked down for the tree lighting ceremony, so the carriage can't go around. So it'll start a little bit later this Friday, but then it goes Friday nights, every Friday night through December from 5 to 8, and every Saturday in December from 12 to 3.
Understanding that you placed the trees on the west side primarily due to construction over there on the east side, there's a formidable amount of trees on the courthouse lawn as I speak, and it's going to be really nice. People are out there
It's always beautiful.
working on them the other day when we drove up there.
Yeah.
And it's really neat to see all that effort there.
We grew the event this year by 25, but it seems like it's so much bigger because all of them, instead of being all the way around the square,
Yes.
now are just on that one side, and they're very condensed. We were going around spraying and praying that we could fit them all on there, but yeah, we got them on there. So
So how many did you end up with altogether then?
125.
125.
Yep.
How many did you start with initially the first year?
When I first started 4 years ago, I started with 40. Second year I had 65. Last year I had 100. I order them in July, and I want to grow the event every year, and so this year was 125. And then about 6 weeks ago, I found out I don't have the whole courthouse. I was like, it'll work. So, and it did. My husband, God love him, he goes in and he marks out every 6 feet, and we were able to get it all in there. So
There you are.
Yeah.
See, few people getting a few things done. 648-5510. Our guest this morning, Lisa Kookaroo Drew, and I emphasize the Kookaroo because that's an important part of our downtown community from way back, Lisa, as you well remember. And Kathie Williams, Small Town Creations, interesting store, nicely decorated inside and out. A couple of people downtown square that band together with others, making things happen. 648-5510. If you have anything nice to say to them, go ahead. We won't shut you off. Be real nice to them, though. This is the holiday season. So go ahead.
So you mentioned the Small Business Saturday being the kickoff of the Christmas Express event. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that works and what all's involved with that as far as shopping and the holiday season goes?
Okay. Well, with the downtown Christmas Express, every year we have a card that people can pick up in our stores, and the businesses that are participating have their name on the card, a little around the edge, or I guess not necessarily around the edge anymore, but it's there's a
stamp
little
area.
Yeah, there's a little area. If you go into one of those businesses and you make a small purchase, then you'll get that particular business logo stamped. And if you have 10 of them, then you can be entered into a drawing. And what that entails is the drawing consists of a gift certificate from all of the participating businesses downtown. What is the magic number? How much worth of gift certificates will we be looking at, Kathie?
You basically are getting a $25 gift card from every participating business. And we have 27 businesses, I think. And when we say businesses, it can be retail, it can be restaurants, Spirited's on there, Top Hat's on there. I mean, it's not just retail. So going into any, we just want to see people come downtown is basically it, and enjoy the holiday season with us.
So that's one of the big highlights of this whole event. People like to do that. They come downtown and experience our businesses and maybe stop in some place that they hadn't been before and just kind of get to know what we have downtown. In addition to that, we have other things going on. We have the carriage rides, of course, and this year we're also in Latham Park. We're going to have train rides on December the 3rd and on December the 10th. Weather permitting, yeah. On December the 3rd, it will be from 10 until 1, and the 10th from 1 until 3. And I don't know exactly where that's going to go in the park, whether it's going to go all the way around or whether they're going to cut through diagonally and then come back up, but that's up to the train ride provider. But that should offer something fun for kids to do those particular Saturdays. And in addition, this year, of course, we've talked a little bit about that already this morning, is the ice skating rink that is in Scully Park. So there's a lot going on for kids downtown as well. And the theater, too, has jumped in, and they are going to be showing $2 movies on Saturdays and Sundays beginning 12/3. And they'll either be showing it'll be showing Elf, The Grinch, Polar Express, or The Christmas Story. So you can go downtown and watch those classics on the big screen, and offering another thing for families to do during the season.
Downtown Lincoln really is the place to be for Christmas this year. So we're trying to bring more to the community and have more to offer so that they don't have to go out of town.
You know, ladies, your particular places are cut above the average, but let me ask you a question. Have either of you and any of your compatriots in business around town expressed any difficulty in getting deliveries and so forth? It's going to get to be a real problem if this diesel thing gets to be a serious thing countrywide. But have you ever either experienced any inadequate deliveries?
For our products? Yeah, okay. Well, in the restaurant business...
In a restaurant, that's really critical.
Yeah, I can say that there have been a couple of times where we've had to have had a substitution for something that we had normally been able to purchase before. Not too much, though, and I think lately it's all been... Everything is pretty readily available.
Yeah, we've gotten better. I mean, it was a challenge, I think, for everybody. There a couple years ago, and you didn't know what tomorrow held, was going to hold. But I think, like Lisa said, lately it's been a little better. We've been getting deliveries just fine, and with our trophy part of our store, I know personally, it's, there's a few things that it's kind of hard to get, but you might have to wait an extra couple days. Something might be on back order, but for the most part, we've been pretty blessed there.
I just wondered, in your case, Mrs. Drew, excuse me, please, a restaurant, finding help. We've experienced undue wait, and it's because they can't get the people. They don't have enough people to apply for work. Wait staff, and also in the kitchen staff. And I found a good spot to get Gina a job, a big restaurant out there on the west side. So I took an application for her wife. But seriously, that health problem, particularly in food serving places, that's a tough problem.
It can be tough, for sure. You have to have the correct number of people, or you're not going to be able to provide the service that people need for you to do.
So be patient, folks.
We have been very blessed. We experienced around the time when a lot of our young people were going away to college and were leaving town. We had to scramble and figure out who we were going to, or how we were going to get people in there, but we just were, and right now we're very blessed with the people that we have. We have a very good staff. I'm very proud of them. They work hard. They're devoted to our business, and they are really good workers. So for right now, no complaints.
Well, once again, the old man Loyd has been able to go through as 8:30, and we still haven't come up with a commercial. So we'll pay a Easton Store sponsors. Thank you. Right back live in the studios here, WLCN, high on County Road 2250. Viewpoint is your program each Wednesday morning at 08:15 to 0900 hours. Our guest this morning, Kathie Williams, proprietress of Small Town Creations, does a great job in that nice little store there. And Lisa Drew, proprietress of, along with I think we better bring Jim in there, don't you think? He puts a couple hours in there with her husband Jim, running a great restaurant called Go ahead, sir.
Sorrento's.
Sorrento's. I want to give you, I got to give you dual participation, or maybe
That's okay. Your name's bigger on the marquee out front, so.
we're going to go to the O Factor. While we were having dead air or doing commercials, I overheard Mrs. Drew say, "Oh," so so we're going to cover the O Factor. Go right ahead, Mrs. Drew.
Well, we were just, not sure I said that, but okay.
We'll keep them awake out there, both of them.
We thought it would be good to talk a little bit about all the stuff that's available for kids to do downtown starting Small Business Saturday, or on Small Business Saturday. So one thing that's going to be available is cookies and cocoa with Mrs. Claus. And that's going to be at Deep Roots from 8:30 until 11 on Small Business Saturday, which is November the 26th. That is this Saturday. In addition, there's a gingerbread house contest going on. The drop-off date for the gingerbread houses for the contest is going to be December the 2nd and 3rd from 10 till 1. People can go in and view the gingerbread houses, which is going to be located at
The Lincoln Art Institute
Okay,
on
thank you.
McLean Street, right next to the post office.
And you can go in and view those, and you can vote for your favorite one. And we'll see which one will win this year. What else is going on? The train rides we've already mentioned. The movies we've already mentioned.
Carriage rides.
The carriage rides, the ice skating. There's just a ton of stuff going on downtown starting on Small Business Saturday. Kathie, can you think of anything else to add to that?
Of course, on December 1st, we were talking about the Christmas parade will be
Christmas
taking
parade,
place,
too.
and you mentioned there's activities for the kids, sort of activities.
Yep.
Or for the
Christmas
public.
parade will be, it's always first Thursday of the month, or of December. And it's going to be the old-fashioned parade where the parade drives through. And I think last count, Alice told me we had close to 50 entries, or I think 54 entries. So I haven't talked to her for a couple days. So a lot of participation, which is great. We're excited to see a nice big parade again. And then after the parade, the big fellow's always the last one, So Santa will actually be over at tourism at the end of the parade to get little kids to come and tell them what they want for Christmas. And we'll have cookies and hot cocoa at tourism. And then you can come get your picture taken with Santa. So we'll have that too that night after the parade's over.
The parade starts at 6:30 Thursday, December 1st. As you mentioned, the theme Christmas in Candyland. And then, as you mentioned, pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus at the depot, the Tourism Bureau office right after the parade. So
Exactly it.
should be a good night.
Hopefully nice weather.
Didn't you serve as Grand Marshal for the parade maybe once?
Yeah,
not too
some
long
time ago. Yeah, some time ago. Your memory's gotten bad for an older man.
Last year.
Yeah, Sean and I were honored that way. And a dear friend of ours is going to be Parade Marshal, Marshal S. And I'm sworn not to mention her name, but I will tell you that a lady by the name of Marcia Fernandez goes out to the Christian Village and helps sell the old boys with their Tuesday morning coffees. And so there's your tip. We're very pleased for Marcia. And she's now, don't you say a word now. I said, no, I'm not saying anything about you being a parade marshal. There again, one individual finding time to do something for other people. That's kind of what makes us go around here in Lincoln, Illinois. We've got a number of people in that category. They come in twos and threes and singles, and it's really neat. And somebody's put a lot of work on this Christmas parade coming up here. It doesn't just happen. And so 648-5510. You folks might have a comment or two about that. And if you want to tell them what a nice store they have or what a nice, great restaurant it is, that's fine too. I won't charge them a thing. They spent the gas to come up here. I think that's enough investment.
So for Small Business Saturday and then the Christmas season, I'm assuming there will be certain promotions or sale items or
I
different
think each
things going on?
store is going to be doing their own thing. So for us to try to say what everybody's doing, the one thing we are doing new this year, we're going to do the 12 Days of Christmas, and it's kind of a new event for us. So we're still ironing out all the problems with it. But starting on, so anytime you go into the businesses that are participating, they'll have a little gift box on their counter, and you can put your name and phone number in there to register. And then starting on December 8th, the 12 days before Christmas, we will, each business every day will draw out of their box, and we'll give away something to highlight their store. So we've got quite a few different people. We've got donuts and gift cards and care packs. There's kids baskets, coffee. There's a little bit of everything. So make sure, and we'll have that out there too on our Facebook page, our Downtown Lincoln Facebook page. That's on my list to do today. So I have to get that all up so you can see who's drawing what day and what they're going to be giving away. So it's a nice way to highlight individual businesses. I know me personally, I get people every single day come in and like, I never knew this store was here. I'm like, what rock have you been living under? But it's nice to, and I get if they're out of town, but a lot of people in Lincoln just, they don't come downtown, and it's like, if you come downtown, we've got a lot to offer. We are really trying to, I always say old Lincoln from when I was little, and something every store, and so we're working on that. We're trying to bring old Lincoln back. So yeah.
And we thought the 12 Days of Christmas, incidentally, if we didn't explain that, is separate from the cards that people have. So not all of the businesses that are listed on the cards, probably a substantial amount of them are on the 12 Days of Christmas. This just offers each individual business an opportunity to draw from their own customers and choose a winner to get something from their own particular store. Anybody can go into any of the stores and register for any of the gifts, so it's just an added little bonus and thank you for us to give back to our customers for coming in and supporting us.
I think you're okay if I know for me, Small Town Creations, we're going to give away a pound of Christmas coffee with a personalized Christmas tumbler. I know you guys got the ones for WLCN. We're going to do the same thing with Christmas. Lisa's going to do dinner for two plus cannolis. So
cat's out of the bag. Cannoli is on the horizon.
So that's just what we are personally, but I would suggest to anybody that's shopping downtown through the Christmas season, when you go in, ask them, say, are you participating in anything, or do you have any specials? And because there is such a wide variety of things, and to try to figure it all out, just...
Mrs. Williams, you mentioned two words, shopping downtown. And I want to emphasize those two words. There's no need to go anywhere else, folks. You don't have to go to Burtonview for your retail stores. But seriously, what brought you into the retail business, Kathie? You have an exceptional flair for it.
I've never worked retail a day in my life till I bought this store. True statement. I worked for an insurance company, and I always was creative, and I always wanted to make things, and I started doing the paint parties, and then we knew it kind of wanted to grow somehow, and the trophy shop, the award shop, was for sale, and then the old beans and such was for sale, and we were trying to figure out which one do we want to buy, and my husband says, let's just do them both. I'm like,
there's a guy who will go to work. Yeah.
He's a keeper. So now I wonder sometimes if he wonders what he got himself into. But we just jumped in, and we said this was the opportunity for us to keep two existing businesses. Both those previous owners wanted to retire, slow down, whatever. Ironically, the owner of Award Shop, Vicki, she works for me now. So she's my right hand, and she's there helping me out every day. And so it was a way to keep two businesses alive in Lincoln, because otherwise they may have closed. So
That's great, because people say, well, we got to go to Springfield and shop. That's not necessary. We've got all the things we need right here, and your skills and your determination inures to the benefit of your customers, because they can come right downtown on the west side of the square and find what they're looking for.
Yep.
And when they get hungry, they can go to the other side of the square, north side of the square, and go to Sorrento's, although not at noon. Your hours are what, Mrs. Drew? I start saying kookaroo.
We are open Tuesday through Saturday, and we open at 4 p.m. every day that we're open. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we close at 8, and on Friday and Saturday, we close at 9. And
That ought to give them an ample opportunity to wander over to Sorrento's and partake of some of those goodies. Again, are you marking these commercials down?
I am.
I want to make sure we charge her going out the
You're
door.
up to about $50, I think.
Well, seriously, downtown shopping, those are the two words I want to emphasize. These young ladies represent what's good around our square in Lincoln, Illinois. And some of our businesses off square. They don't have to be on the exact square. Think about it as you think about shopping, and make your list and see how many downtown places you can pick. Girls, who would like to take the next baton as I pass it off?
well, I think that we should also talk about the fact that we have a group of a number of people that come to our meetings. We meet about once a month, and there's probably, I don't know, we vary anywhere from, 5 to 20 people at
really?
a time that meet. And while Kathie and I kind of run the meetings, we kind of just put out there things that we are thinking about or that need to be done and try to organize it. But this group that we have, they jump in there and say, let me do this, let me do that. And that's what's been really wonderful about them. For example, Colleen at Spirited, she's the one who has designed, have you seen the cards and the yard signs around town, as well as signs in business windows. She designs all of that in her spare time, which I know, as Kathie and I were talking recently, it's not for the faint of heart to run a business because it is very time consuming. So we appreciate her. We appreciate Lisa from Top Hat, who has put out a link where people can sign up to do caroling, to do I don't know if we've gotten any bands, but there's that link out, and she has taken that upon herself to do that. We forgot to mention the Madrigals will be downtown, and hopefully some other carolers too. We have a terrific group of people. I don't know, would you like to read off the names of all the people that are going to be a part
Hopefully
of
I don't forget anybody. And we've got everybody that's participating in this event, but there's no way Lisa and I could do it all. I mean, we are very thankful for the group we have downtown, and it's all the downtown businesses, and we just organize it. We couldn't do it without them. So to try to say, we were sitting here talking about our businesses, it is all of downtown. So I give kudos to all my peers. I've made a lot of very close-knit friends through this whole thing. So, but a lot of the businesses, and hopefully I don't forget anybody, but we have like Abe's Caramel Corn, and these are the ones that are participating in the Christmas Express. So we have Abe's Caramel Corn, Copper Penny, Debbie's Floral, Deep Roots Cafe, Elite Kicks, Flossie and Delzinia's, Guest House, Gazzardo's, Idle Hour, Indigo Quilt Studio, Joe Ryan Insurance, John Hoblet Law, Lincoln Art Institute, and the Moshka Center. I always say that wrong. Sorry, Marcia. The Lincoln Grand Cinema, Lincoln Library, Mary Todd's Hallmark, I can't get it to go here. Let's see. Michelle Bauer Insurance, Midwest Dental, Pink Shutter, Podbell 6 Family Creations, Renew Consignment, Sherwin-Williams, Small Town Creations, Sorrento's, Spirited Republic, Sublime Skin, The Bee, Top Hat Creamery, Studio 3, Logan County Farm Bureau, Sally Turner, Learning Center. And there's a lot, and like I said, those are the ones just participating, but we still have more businesses downtown as well, so
That also participate in other things.
yeah, if they're not doing the Christmas thing, they may do other things a week, because we try to do stuff throughout the whole year.
The nice thing is, all we have to do is say, hey, are you guys in on this? And you would not believe how many people say yes. For example, I did we had Santa at Sorrento's last week, and we rely on sponsors to pay Top Hat for the ice cream and the hot cocoa out front, and nobody has to pay anything. So all the kids, when they come and see Santa, get to have a free hot cocoa or ice cream, or probably both. And that is all due to the sponsors that we get to help with that event. We just have to ask. They say yes every time. Everybody is so supportive downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Kirby, it occurs to me that somebody's going to wake up about 2 days before Christmas. Oh my goodness, we've got Uncle Joe. Well, there's always something to fall back on. That's gift cards. Mm-hmm. And so our businesses downtown are always happy to issue gift cards. Mm-hmm. And that makes it an easy way to remember poor old Uncle Joe, who's probably stumbling around over old Joe somewhere. So gift cards are a good thing to remember, seriously.
They are. They're easy, and
restaurant particularly like those.
Who does?
Restaurants.
Oh, restaurants. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Well, then that person's going to get what they want. So.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about the right size or
one size
they like
fits
this
all.
or whatever. So,
exactly.
I'm reminded last week we had Andrea Runge on with the LEAD organization, and she mentioned some of the things statistics she's been looking at, and how when consumers spend their money in a small town and at a local business versus ordering something on the internet. I can't remember the exact number, but it was astronomical how much of that money that's spent locally stays local in the community.
Of course. She's
So,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
She's been a big asset to us and gives us tips, and she's a phenomenal lady.
so once again, if you're looking for incentive to shop local, not only does it benefit, you get great products and services and food
And
and
it's
so
easy.
forth. Right, and it's easier
easy.
from going out of town. I mean,
You don't have to drive out of town.
Right.
You're buying from, there's a thing that goes out on there that says, when you're asking for donations for your child's little league team, you're not calling Amazon,
right.
so, we do. We try to give back to our community as much as we can. And, it's just, it works both ways. You help pat my back, I'll pat yours, so. Yeah.
Might answer, you mentioned shopping online, Mr. Kirby. The other day I got another one of those calls, $900 from the mail house order. I can't even think of the
Publishers Clearinghouse.
anyway.
You may already be on it.
All I had to do was poke one or poke two. Well, I poked stop in a hurry. But you have to watch what's going on out there, folks. A lot of scams run around. So let's shop locally, and you won't have that problem.
That's right.
If you have something go wrong at a retailer, they'll take care of it for you. You don't
We
have to worry
always
about it.
want to take care of our customers. I know that if anybody ever has a question about anything, all they have to do is come to me, and they know that we're going to take care of it. There's something to be said about going into a business when you know the person who's working there, the person that owns it. Kathie will agree with me. I know that we take care of our customers. You are what we rely on, and we hopefully you'll know that you can rely on us too.
648-5510. Your time is about to expire. Do something nice to these ladies. Come on, call them up and tell them what a great job they're doing for their community. They and their counterparts that are all working together, and I emphasize that. There's a group of them around there It's not just these two ladies. They just happen to kind of have the mixer to put above the bowl. Will that work?
Whatever it takes. So, yeah, we are running short on time. So, mentioned, just to kind of recap maybe, Small Business Saturday starts, or is actually this coming Saturday, the 26th, I believe. And that will kick off the Christmas Express promotion, and that runs through
December the 17th, and we
okay.
will have the drawing for the stamped cards on December the 18th. And once you've got your cards stamped with 10...
Express ends the 18th, and
I'm
we do
sorry.
the drawing on the 20th.
Oh, okay. I guess I had that wrong down there. Sorry about that. Well, one of those days it's going to end around there.
We'll let you know if you win.
Yeah. So, yeah, and if you have already received all of the stamps that you need, you can drop it off at any of the participating businesses, and we'll make sure that you're entered into the drawing for that day.
And then you also mentioned the 12 Days of Christmas promotion.
Yes.
So that's something people can go in and like purchase. It's not the, like, I think you said it starts December 8th? Is
That
the 12
one
days?
starts...
The first drawing's December 8th.
But
and
people
then-
can go in and purchase prior to December 8th and sign up for that.
Yep, they
don't
can
have
start-
to go in on that exact day.
You can start putting your name in for the drawing starting Saturday
Okay.
on that as well.
Just look for the little box on all participating businesses' counters.
Yep, it'll have the box and the jingle on it, which won't rhyme.
Kathie Williams, Small Town Creations, and Lisa Drew, Sorrento's Restaurant. We appreciate you ladies taking your time this morning to be with us.
Thank you.
Tell them what's going on downtown around the square. Stop in and say hello to these folks. If you want to leave a couple bucks on the counter, that's just fine. Thank you for Viewpoint.